Hello everyone! Today I'll introduce you to a game that I have invented, and it's called Roll With It, and this is a universal improvised tabletop RPG. And the idea is that everything should be improvised here, so there are just a few guidelines, but there's no real limitation, only about imagination. And the idea is that this game will be played with multiple dices, so to make it fun. And so the core principle is that first the character creation, and the character creation should be first. The first step is assigning a name to this character, a concept, so a background, a general background information about the character. And you should also choose 4 traits for this character. So 3 traits are the ones that the character is good at, so that can be agile, brilliant, sneaky, arcane, or pretty much anything. And one of these good traits, or traits that the character is good at, it should be the super trait. And then you should also pick one weak trait, so that can be overconfident, naive, or anything that the character is not very good at. And the character should also have a goal, so the goal is the ultimate quest for this character, being redemption, retirement, really anything. And the idea here is that there is a dice ladder, so this is the leveling up system. And the idea is to use multiple dices, so we start with a d4 for the weak traits. And then as the character levels up, each of the traits, it goes up in a dice. So from d4, d6, d8, d10, d12, and then d20. And each of these dice is the level. So it's from weak, untrained, average, trained, expert, master, and epic. And here the idea is to use the dice that are also using D&D, but if you don't have access to those dice, you can also replace them by a d6. So first level 1d6, and then 2d6, and 3, and so on. So it can be also arranged like that. And the idea is that the dice are used for outcomes. So let's say you're improvising your adventure, your world, and then you come up in a situation that you need to do a task, and that can be any kind of task. And then you roll a dice and you see if you succeed or fail the task. And there are multiple suggestions here for different tasks and how difficult they should be. So ideally a roll 1 for any dice is always a failure. There's no save, even if there are modifiers. A 2 and a 3 are pretty much a fail for every task. Maybe very, very simple task can be achieved, but otherwise it's also a failure. 4 to 5 is success for simple tasks, like for example doing the dishes or anything that's pretty much basic. 6 to 8 to be intermediate tasks, so lifting a heavy weight, and here we are starting to reach to the higher dices number, so you need to have a d8 to be able to achieve this. And from 9 to 11 then it's already advanced tasks, so it can be deceiving a friend or jumping over a tall fence, so more niche tasks here. 12 to 15 is already expert, so organizing a raid or things that need an expert level. And here you're already reaching the d12, so that means you need at least a d12 to be able to achieve this task. 16 to 19 is already master tasks, so very difficult tasks. And what I'm suggesting here is for hacking to the government, so something that's really, really tough. And you need already a d20, so you need to be the highest level in a particular skill or trait. And then roll 20 is the most difficult one. So it's like in D&D, is to kill a dragon, so you need the highest level of dice plus the highest roll. So it's pretty much an epic roll. And here on the rolls you can add modifiers. So this is all suggestions, but what you can do is to add advantage on the rolls and disadvantage. So the character is prepared, or let's say the character is doing a big jump, if the character is athlete or is in the military or something like that, then the character can get advantage. And the same is if the character is overweight, or maybe he never did any sports, then the character gets disadvantage. And this means for advantage you roll twice the dice, and then you pick the highest number, and for disadvantage then you do the opposite, so you pick the lowest. And there can be modifiers as well, so positive and negative modifiers. So let's say that the character needs to do this jump but is hungry or tired, then there will be a negative modifier. Or if the character is well rested, then it can be a positive. And the number can be decided by the players. Anything, +1, +10, so it depends on the type of the game. And ideally the game should be played with the GM and 3 more players, but it can also be played solo, as I did in this video, so in the following video actually. So there are no real limits, so it's just more fun to play with more people. And the traits that are chosen by the character, they will match the 4 main skills. So for any genre, these skills should be fitting. And the idea is that there shouldn't be a complication here when it comes to choosing classes and so on. So there are no classes, there are no real character levels, so there are just 4 skills, and the levels are on those skills. So the skills that are mapped to the traits are physical, social, mental, and special. So physical is, for example, agile or endurance, so anything that requires a body movement. Social is anything related to interaction with other people, so it can be convincing, deceiving, commanding, and anything related to interactions. Mental is related to planning, recalling, analyzing. Anything that needs thinking is a mental skill. And the special skill here, it fits the genre, so it can be in a D&D a spellcasting skill, or a religious skill, or it could be luck, it could be crafting, it could be shooting, anything that fits the specific word. So this is more free depending on the adventure, so you can pick what you want it to be, the special one. And the idea is that you match the traits to these skills. So as I mentioned before, if the character is agile, that means the character will get a physical skill, and the dice that will be started depending on the level. So 2 of the traits, there are 3 good traits. One of them is the super trait, so that one will get a D8, the other 2 get a D6. And for the weak trait, this will be a D4. So the character will start with the 3 dices. And the idea is that once the character is there, then you can start creating the world. And the world starts with 3 facts. So where are we right now? What just happened? And what is the character status? So this is to set up the first scene, and then we can go from there. So there's no real limits what it can be, and this can be very simple, maybe 3 sentences, or it can be a whole lore. So it's all up to the players to decide how deep they want their adventure to go. And the leveling up system is a dice base, so that means that the dice number is the level. And as I mentioned, for the weak skill, it starts at D4. And to level up, you need to have experience points, and the experience points are gathered by successful rolls. So each successful roll is 1 XP point, so 1 experience point. And once you reach the dice level, so let's say I'm a D4 level, that means I need 4 experience points. Then I can try to level up. So to level up, I roll a D4, and if I get 3 or more, so 3 or 4, then I level up. So then I spend my XP into this leveling up. Then my XP goes back to 0, and then now I can have a D6 for this particular skill. And this follows for the other dice as well. So if I'm currently at D6, I need 6 XP, and I need a roll that's 5 or higher, and then follows up. So for the D8 I need a 6 or higher, D10 a 8 or higher, D12 a 10 or higher, and then for the D20 I need a 18 or higher. So it gets tougher and tougher to level up. And the idea is that if the leveling up roll is not successful, so in the previous example, if I'm a D4 and then I roll a 2, I was not able to level up, and then I lose 1 XP. So that means I need to get 1 more XP to be able to try it again. So that's the idea. So these are some guidelines to make it a bit fun and to create a bit of difficulty in the game. And the session should end with the main goal achieved, or fail or transform. And the sessions, they can be one-shot session, or they can follow multiple sessions for years. So there's not a real limit there. And yeah, so the main idea of the game is to be very simple. So there's no complex math, there's no crazy classes, there's no flipping to rule books. So it's pretty much completely free. There are just a few guidelines, but even the guidelines can be bent to fit the story and to make it fun. So whatever you need. And there are a few examples here of gameplay. So for example, character creation. So I have one here that I call Amy. She works at IT. She loves running, hiking, and pets. And her traits are: she's athletic, she's a fast learner, and she has a knack for DIY projects. And her not very good trait is that she's not very good in crowds. And her goal is to get in touch with nature. So she would love to live in a cabin out in the forest. So she would like to get away from the city and be more in this relaxed scenario. And if I match her traits to the skills, so since she's athletic, I'll put this, and she loves running and hiking, so that means she gets a physical D8. She's not very good at crowds, so she'll get a social D4. Since she's a fast learner, she'll get a D6. And special here, I'm assuming a D6. So special can be fixing electronics or crafting or maybe luck. Let's see how the adventure goes. But yeah, so these are her starting levels. An example of a role outcome. So let's say I'm in a world where the real physics are applied. Then the suggestion here is that jumping over a small puddle, so a very small puddle there, will require a roll 2. So a very small number. Any dice will be able to achieve this. And jumping over a tall fence, that will be a 10. So that means I need at least a D12 to be able to achieve this feat. And jumping from one building to the other, like in Matrix, that will require a D20, so a roll 20 here. And that's pretty much an epic level, so it's almost bending reality, but yeah, this is the idea of the roll 20. It's really epic, and it's like the hardest you can get. So these are the suggested roll outcomes when you're improvising and trying to plan how difficult is this task and what should be the roll to succeed. So I have a suggestion on world building as well. So for example, there could be a post-apocalyptic town surrounded by zombies. There are no survivors around. You stand in a crossroads and you see a gun store westbound. You have a multi-tool, a bottle of water, 2 protein bars, a laptop, and a backpack. You're tired and you've been running for hours escaping the zombies. So it's just a few sentences here, but you can see that there's already the character items, there's the character status, the initial scenario here, and the world is kind of explanatory. So it's a Walking Dead kind of thing. It's in a town, and there is already a way to go. So maybe the gun store is a way to continue the story. Yeah, so the conflict and resolution here. So there's a suggestion also on the modifiers. So if we bring back the jumping fence example, and let's say the character is in a military or a professional athlete, that can be a advantage. So if you roll twice, you pick the highest number. But let's say that this character it is a professional athlete, but it is currently hungry or tired, and that can be a negative modifier. So you can do a roll, pick the highest, but then you can add a -2, for example, so because the character is tired. So it can be done in multiple ways, and this is also all suggestions, so there's nothing mandatory here. So it's just a way to make the choices a bit more complex if needed. Yeah, so that's the idea of the game. So the following video will be me playing tutorial of Amy. So I take this example character and I'll try out to see how it works. And there will be also additional content called random stuff, and there will be a lot of random things that can help in the journey. So let's say random items, random scenarios, random genres, random actions. So anything, if your imagination is a bit lacking, you can also pick there. So there will be many options to choose. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. So yeah, keep tuned for the next one. Thanks.